What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We're in Firefall. Lots to talk about in here. So, in case you're not aware, upcoming this Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S. is another XP bonus weekend. This is a 25% XP bonus weekend for all frames. So get your favorite frame on and have some fun. Now, I pulled out Dragonfly. I felt it was time to hop on Dragonfly a little bit here. I went ahead and I crafted a 500 level gun. As you can see, it fires mad insane. Checked out some of his other abilities. He's all set up. So we're just going to have a little bit of fun here. And I'm probably going to utilize him throughout most of the weekend to get him all the way ranked up. And then if I'm not using him, I probably will be honestly on my Recluse. So it's going to be biotech frames for me this weekend, most likely, as we go through and have some fun. Alright, now with that said, if you haven't been up to date on everything that's been going on, there's past 2 weeks they've announced some new creatures coming to Firefall. Actually 3 weeks now in a row is where we're at since they do the Firefall Live. Now I had mentioned one a couple weeks back, Timber Slinger. So we're going to talk about the other two in here, if you're not aware of them. These are upcoming. These are not in the game yet, but these are upcoming. So got some images for you as well of the creatures and a little bit of what they wrote about in here. So the first one we'll talk about here is the other week they talked about the Shield Crawler. Okay, Shield Crawler. Enemy, or the unknown animal wandered into Thump Thump. Town's guards attempted to contain the creature, but were unable to do so, as they say. They succeeded in driving it out of the area, but not before it caused significant damage to the surrounding buildings. A local scientist managed to obtain a SIN scan in the animal before it passed out of range. So this is what we know. So, you know, I'll throw up a concept art there and some regular art that they want to put into the game. Habitat is unknown. Researchers' observations on this shield crawler are a large crab-like animal covered in a chitinous shell, if I said that right, that is far stronger than any man-made polymer that has been developed. The shell's composition allows it to deflect both kinetic and energy projectiles. These are things we're going to need to think of when we're facing this. Often back in the directions of those who fired them. So, again, it's deflecting certain types of projectiles and it's shooting it back at you. So this is going to be an interesting enemy to face. The shield crawler's front 2 legs have large interlocking shell plates that can draw into cover its vulnerable head. So it's going to block its head with its shell plate legs. So this is going to be another one that's going to be interesting. Probably something you have to try to get to from behind. When in a defense position, its only real weak spot is its back, like I just said, below the protective shell. Though the shield crawler does not appear to be overly aggressive, it will charge anything that strays close enough to is perceived as a threat. Personnel should not attempt to engage the shield crawler alone, as flanking maneuvers are required to subdue. So this is going to be a tough one.
I can repay you.
Probably a couple frames that could do it easily by itself, but I would assume this is going to be one of like the larger creatures, like a mini boss type of thing. So it's going to be an interesting. Pretty thrilled about that one. Based off the scale, it's 2-man high, so we're talking mini boss. How you're going to get behind it, I'm not sure, but that one is going to be a fun one. So, Shield Crawler, newest creature. Okay. Hopefully you're enjoying this little bit of fun back here as well as we talk about it. I love Dragonfly and the Recluse. I think the medics, ever since they made those changes, not medics, the biotech frames, I should call them, are so much more viable. Emergency response is pretty awesome. And I think you could probably, if you do it right, you might be able to utilize emergency response as a way to get behind the shield crawler and shoot them, but we don't know how fast it turns or does any of that stuff yet, so we'll pay attention to that as it comes out. Next up, they just did this the other day. It's another new creature. It's kind of like a bee, but it doesn't have a name yet. It's just unknown is what it is. Ares team came across an unfamiliar animal while patrolling restricted territory. They attempted to capture the animal alive, but managed to immobilize them and escape. According to researchers, have been unable to match their description to any documented animal. Their account follows. So here's some art that they're showing us. Some concept art. Looks like a bee, pretty scary looking bee. But if it can immobilize you, that's kind of a scary thing. It's nothing super big in any way. Yeah, pretty scary. So witnesses account, as they put it, saw the sound of large wings rhythmically beating the air. He entered the clearing expecting to see a wayward storm kestrel, and instead saw this unordinarily appeared to be an ordinary moth. So they're calling it a moth. If an ordinary moth's wingspan has more than 2 meters, then a large mane, what looked like hair on its neck. So I don't know how well you can see from that picture. I'll try to put that picture up there. It didn't seem to notice us at first, so we moved closer, intending to try to capture it and earn some points with the scientists back at the lab. As we approached the creature, the noise from our battle frames gave us away. They attempted to jet up and tackle it before it could escape. This is the little story that they've got going with it, by the way. The creature reacted by releasing a cloud of spores, which seemed to be electrically charged. Another key point, keep that in mind. I could see bolts of energy jumping between the particles. The cloud enveloped me before I could even hold my breath, is what is said here. So, releasing a cloud of spores that are electrically charged. Interesting. This one sounds like another tough one to fight. Though immediately felt a tingling sensation through the body, it didn't seem to experience any ill effects. The battle frame, on the other hand, immediately lost power and dropped to the ground. So you don't want to fly in on this one, or you're going to drop to the ground if it stuns you with this cloud of spores. Keep that in mind. After seeing what happened to me, the rest of the team were too busy avoiding the cloud themselves to worry about catching the animal, and it flew out of sight during the confusion. I was lucky enough to suffer nothing worse than a few bruises, but that is not the experience that I'd like to repeat anytime soon. While the frame eventually powered back up, count myself lucky that there weren't any other animals in the area to take advantage of the temporary invulnerability. I am liking the direction that this is going. Bringing in new creatures, changing it up a bit. Man, I can see some, with these 3 creatures that they've announced, I can see the gameplay becoming a lot more entertaining, a lot more dynamic. Hopefully they change up the events a little bit more, make it a little bit more fluid and dynamic than what they are now. I mean, right now, you know that you can go run, the Sunken Harbor route, or you can, come over to Shantytown, run the Shantytown route of Ares missions over and over and over. You know which one's going to load up next. You know you can get there and stand in there and wait for it to load up. So that's not really, I mean, if you've been playing the game long enough, it's not really overly fun. You're just kind of sitting there farming the same things over and over. Yeah, you can go to Diamond Head and Antarctica and those as well to break it up a bit. You can do some of the campaign missions, Blackwater, that type of stuff as well. But bringing out these mini-bosses, new animals, creatures, if you will, into the main game is going to be pretty cool. I'm hoping to see some kind of more dynamics to it. So that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see more dynamic approach. Kind of like how Defiance has their dynamic setup. It's pretty random. You never really know what's going to happen in terms of dynamic events happening. You just have to check the map and be ready for them and be in the right area for them. So that's the type of dynamics I'd like to see Firefall have, at least, though, in the meantime, for now. It's nice to see some new things starting to show up in terms of concepts that they're hopefully going to be bringing out soon, and pushing the game a little bit more. The home game challenge, I've done that a couple times. There are some issues still. There is a forum thread about it. You can post your comments about it. And we'll see how they progress with changing that around a little bit more to work a little bit better. But, it's good to see that again. As I was saying, it's good to see that come back into the game, some PvP atmosphere as well. So, I mean, you know, they've had some changes. It's been a tough couple of months with management changes and whatnot. But I think it's worth looking around. You know, have it loaded on your computer, check it out a little bit.
Yeah, that's one more.
You know, when you're bored doing something else, hop on in here, have some fun. I mean, you can't not. You can have fun. I mean, the game itself at its core is still fun. A little more challenging with crafting weaponry and whatnot. Actually, almost easier to craft weaponry and gear now than what it was, because you know, you got a 125 level, you got a 250 level, you got 500 level, you know, and then you got you can go even higher than that. But it's easy to craft per stage now. Durability, I know people complain about the durability. Durability's not that bad. Come on, it's really not that horrible. Actually, I liked how they did the durability. They made some changes to it, you can tell. But it's nice to have that system in there, and why shouldn't they? I mean, everybody else has that type of durability system in there in most MMO games. And the number ones that I play, I mean, DCU has it, Defiance has it. You know, it's there. You know, we live with it. You know, I don't have a problem with it, so... But anyway, pretty excited about these changes, these new creatures coming in, the creature features that come with their Firefall Live. It's pretty cool. I can't personally watch the Firefall Live. I'm at work when they do it, and I can't watch Twitch from work. Just, yeah, that's blocked from my office, so... and it is what it is. So, but, anyway, so let me know what you guys think in comments about the changes that are coming. Are you excited about it? You know, I know a number of guys still playing it. I'd like to see some more changes happen to it. There goes little Nikon, he's just logged off.
There are more recovery targets still in the mission
Pretty
area.
happy with it.
Go back in and see what
It's
you
always
can
good to see some more changes finally coming through. And hopefully they can push forward with this and bring back some of the people that have left for other things. But again, you know, let me know what you guys think. Questions, comments, anything, anytime below. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you here, and I'm going to go get started on something else here, and I'll catch you soon. So if you did like this, hit the like button, comments, as I said, and if you're not subscribed and you enjoy my channel, please do hit that subscribe button. It's much appreciated. Till next time, I'll see you later.
A few more jobs like that one, and you'll be ready for a hardware upgrade, eh, boss?